Today, we're making a dish that's a true staple of Belgian cuisine, spaghetti bolognese. Now, you may be thinking, isn't that an Italian dish? And while it has its roots in Italy, the version we know and love here in Belgium is a creation all its own. Its story begins shortly after the Second World War when a large number of Italian immigrants came to Belgium, many of them to work in the coal mines. They brought with them their culinary traditions like the Ragu Bolognese, which is a rich, meat-heavy sauce often served with flat egg pasta like tagliatelle. The Belgian version evolved, becoming a more tomato-heavy sauce with a focus on ease and affordability. It became a comfort food since the 1970s, something we would find in any Belgian cafe, brasserie and at home. Let's start with the heart of any good bolognese, the Mirepoix, carrots, onions and celery. For the carrots, we're going to cut them in a brunoise, a small uniform dice. To do this, first peel your carrots and trim off the ends. Cut the carrot in half and lay the flat face on your cutting board. This prevents the carrot from rolling. Now cut your carrot into thin even slices and cut the slices into halves or thirds to ensure you have uniform strips. Finally, take those strips and cut them into tiny uniform cubes. To dice an onion, first cut it in half from the root to the top, peel off the outer layers, lay one half flat on your cutting board, then make vertical cuts from the top to the root end without cutting all the way through. Now make one or two horizontal cuts, again not cutting through to the root end. Finally, slice across your onion and you will get a perfect dice. Last, the celery. Just as with the carrots, you're going to slice it lengthwise into thin strips. Then take those strips, turn them into that small dice. Place a large pot on your stove over low heat and add olive oil. Once the oil is warmed, add your diced carrots, onions and celery and gently cook them over low heat until they become soft and translucent without any browning. While the vegetables are sweating away, let's get started on the meat. I'm using a mix of minced pork and beef and I'm going to brown this in a separate pan on high heat. Do not overcrowd the pan. Bake in multiple sessions if you have to and resist the urge to stir it too often. Let the meat sit and develop a nice brown crust. I'm not looking to cook it all the way through, just to get a good color on the outside. Transfer the browned meat in the pot with the vegetables. As you can see, there's a lot of flavor left in the pan. Deglaze the pan by adding a splash of water to the hot pan and use a wooden spoon to scrape all those bits off the bottom and pour that liquid into your pot. The pan is now ready for a second fry of the remaining mince, if you have it. Now that the meat and the vegetables are combined, it's time to add the tomato base. I'm using Passata di Pomodoro, an uncooked, strained tomato puree without any seeds or skins. Let's season our sauce. Add a generous amount of black pepper, salt, and optionally a little bit of sugar to counter the acidity of the tomatoes. For herbs, I use rosemary, thyme and bay leaves. With all the ingredients in the pot, we just have to let time do its work. Lower your heat to a gentle simmer, put a lid on the pot and let it cook for at least an hour. This long, slow simmer is where all those flavors from the meat, vegetables and herbs melt together, creating a rich sauce. Be sure to give it a stir every now and then to prevent anything from sticking to the bottom of the pot. If you're thinking, wow, that's a lot of sauce, you're absolutely right. When I make a bolognese, I always make a big batch and freeze in multiple portions for later. There's nothing easier than being in a hurry and just grabbing a portion of sauce from the freezer, warming it up and cooking some noodles for a quick meal. In the video description you can find the recipe for 4 persons. And if you enjoyed this video so far, please like and subscribe for more Belgian dishes. After an hour, our sauce is done. Before serving, give it a quick taste for seasoning and adjust if needed. The sauce is ready. Let's get our noodles cooking. For this recipe, I'm using Capellini. It's a type of pasta that's even thinner than spaghetti. Most Belgians seem to love a thicker spaghetti, but we at home love the thinner variant. Just cook the noodles according to the directions on the package until they are al dente. For plating, start by placing a nice nest of your cooked noodles on the plate. Next, generously spoon the bolognese sauce right over the top. And to finish, we're going to use some grated Gruyere cheese. While traditional Italian would use Parmesan, the slightly nutty flavor of Gruyere is a perfect match for the rich tomato-based sauce. And there you have it, a true Belgian classic that represents a perfect fusion of cultures, a lasting legacy of Italian immigration to Belgium. Enjoy!